6.5 hours later.
What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay and this is Digital 360. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about extended range guitars. This video I think might be very helpful for those of you that are kind of uninitiated with the whole extended range thing, but you're looking to get into it. You're not sure what you want exactly. And obviously you don't want to spend a lot of money. So you might be hesitant as to what kind of a purchase you want to make. Well, I've got you guys covered today because I'm going to showcase not one, but two extended range guitars. Actually, I have the 7 and 8 string variants of the exact same model guitar, which is the 529 Pro fan fret guitar from Gear4Music. If you're not familiar with Gear4Music, they are a budget conscious brand out of Great Britain. They did send these guitars over for me to check out and review and to keep, but this is not a sponsored video. So all thoughts and opinions are my own, and I'm going to give you guys the pros and cons on both these guitars. Hopefully, after you watch this video, it'll help you to gain a better sense of what you might want as far as a 7 string or an 8 string is concerned, because you may think you want one or the other, but you're really not certain. And if you are interested in either of these guitars, I'll leave a link in the description box down below so you can get all the information and details on them. So without further ado, let's get into the demo track right now. All right, so now let's talk about the specs for both of these guitars, which obviously they're going to be pretty much identical, except for the fact that the 8 string is a little bit wider and a little bit longer in the neck. Now the 7 string here is 25.5 inches to 27 inches, multi-scale fan fret, while the 8 string is 25.5 inches to 28 inches on the low end. So the fan fretting on the 8 string is going to be a little bit more severe if that's something you're comfortable with. The bodies on these guitars are mahogany bodies. They've got poplar eye burl tops with these kind of cool fade finish, and it's a satin finish. The backside rather, is not finished. It just has a satin feel to it. You've got a 5-piece neck consisting of maple and artificial rosewood. The fingerboard material is laurel, and you've got 24 extra jumbo stainless steel frets. Yes, stainless steel. I kind of can't believe it because, I mean, there aren't too many guitars on the market currently for just over $300 US that have stainless steel frets. And I have to say the fretwork on these is pretty good. As far as the fret ends are concerned, they're extremely smooth. They're well finished. They don't protrude. There's no kind of fret sprout going on here. And these necks are both very comfortable. And the fret leveling is probably like an 8.5 out of 10 if I had to kind of rate it. It's not great, but again, budget conscious build. You're not getting all the highest quality. You're not getting people spending hours and hours on the instrument. They're just kind of, trying to crank them out. So as far as the electronics are concerned, you've got 2 passive ceramic magnet humbuckers. The bridge humbucker is listed as being high output, while the neck humbucker is listed as being medium to high output. You be the judge. I kind of feel like they're not very high output overall, or maybe there's something wrong with them. They seem a little thin to me, but I mean, it could just be that's what they are. You've got this nice bridge here, which is very comfortable. You've got your master volume, master tone, 3-way selector switch. And I have to say the pots in these guitars are really comfortable. I mean, they have that nice bit of weight to them, but they still turn smoothly. It just takes a little bit of effort, which is what I prefer personally. I don't really like the kind of like the low friction where they just kind of spin. I've mentioned that countless times, but they have a nice weight to them and feel well balanced, and they're very comfortable indeed. As far as the electronics goes internally, I was having some issues with some kind of 60 cycle hum. So again, I think that's something that just comes with the territory when you buy yourself a cheaper made guitar. These guitars are probably also a good mod platform. So I think if I was going to like swap out the pickups, for instance, I would make sure to kind of just rewire it completely, shield the cavity inside, and put in some quality pickups, and then you've got yourself a pretty solid guitar overall. But this is a nice build, I must say. One other little gripe I would mention, though, is UPS did quite a number on the 7-string here. It did arrive with a little bit of damage, and if I can show that to you on the screen here, there's like a ding on the back, and there's a ding on the headstock. I'll do a close-up picture so you guys can see it a little bit better. Yeah, other than that, they're pretty nice instruments. I mean, the necks are really smooth, really comfortable, so they've got that down. Another little kind of issue for me is the nut. If you can take a look at that. Huh? It kind of appears as if the nut slots weren't filed sufficiently. They weren't filed down. It kind of just looks like they have the initial guideline grooves, which aren't very deep at all, that just kind of indicate where the strings should go. But it looks like they didn't file them out too well, at least for the top thicker strings, the top 4 or 5 strings. They're kind of sitting almost on top of the nut. They're really not recessed as they normally would be, kind of in a nut slot on your typical guitar. Again, that's something that can be fixed. It can be remedied. Maybe you can do it yourself. If not, you can take it to your local guitar store, and the guitar tech there, I'm sure, can file those down a little bit for you. But yeah, it's something you don't really want to have to deal with if you're new and you're not really into, working on your guitar. You just want to buy it and play it. That could be something to consider as well. But again, it's not a huge deal. You can always replace a nut. And actually, every couple of years, you should replace the nuts on your guitars, especially if you play them a lot and you change the strings a lot, because they do wear down. The tuners on these are just some, random die-cast, non-locking tuners. They're okay, but I think a lot of the tuning issues I was having stem from the fact that these nuts are just kind of cut poorly. So the strings tend to bind up a little bit in the grooves, in the slots that are there. And when you tune it, it just kind of pops one way or the other a little too much. It jumps a little bit, so you kind of have to be conscious of that. Once you've got it in tune, you've got your strings broken in fairly well, it stays in tune for the most part. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I was able to record the song without too much effort as far as the tuning goes, but you should check your tuning all the time anyway. So these guitars currently retail in the US here for the 7-string is $325, while the 8-string is $338. So let me grab that one again. Yeah, so for $13 more, you can get yourself the 8-string if you want it. It's longer, it's heavier, it's wider. But again, if that's something that you think you want and if you're comfortable with it, go for it. Look, let's be honest. You're already here because you like extended range guitars. You think you want one. Maybe you want to go all the way and just go all in with the 8-string. Maybe that's, more your vibe. And I know a lot of bands are using 8-strings these days. I mean, if you're not at least drop tuned or on a 7-string guitar, you may as well not play guitar at all anymore. Overall, I would say that these are decent guitars. You can't expect too much for $300, $350. There are some minor blemishes here and there. There are some funny texture in parts of the finish. You can feel it here and there, which might be a little bit of overspray, or else it just wasn't polished enough. I couldn't tell you, but I understand, because being that it is a budget build, they're going to cut corners. They're going to take less time to manufacture the instrument, and that's just kind of a result of what happens. I can't expect to compare this to something that costs like $1,000 or more, because it's simply not going to be on par. They're not in the same category. But these do play well. They sound okay. I would definitely change the pickups. And being that they're so inexpensive, if you're going to play live gigs and you're going to play out, you're going to be on stage jumping around, you're not going to be too concerned with, if you accidentally damage it or you kind of ding it on the cymbals or something. You're not going to care because it's so inexpensive. And you can always get yourself another one. So if it's up to whether or not you want a 7-string or an 8-string, in this case, they're so inexpensive, why not just get both? Let me know what you guys think about these guitars. Have you ever tried out Gear4Music guitars? I hope to try out some more of their models pretty soon, but these were pretty cool, man. I mean, again, considering the price, they are not a letdown. They're decent. Just want to change those pickups. That's pretty much it, and then I'm good to go. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I really do appreciate it. And make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for more mediocre content. And please make sure that you like this video if you watched it till the end. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm out of here. See ya! Holy fuck. Why now when I'm trying to record?